Welcome back to the page, guys. I hope you're all well. Now you'll notice again I'm not in the workshop as I am on my way to go and collect the E36 that you would have seen in a previous video on my page. Now if you haven't seen it, I will put a link to it at the end of this video, so if you want to watch it you can. But for now, like I say, I am on my way to go and meet the recovery guy as well as a friend who are already at the car, as like I said, we're going to go and get it collected. So the next time you see me, I will be with them and the car. It actually doesn't look too bad though, does it? On the face. How long was it sat for at that dude? Can you remember? I remember asking for it. What's it come first man? Good job. But then slapped yet. This side's not on. Yeah, that's fine, man. We're only just on it. Yeah. There's only like that much to fire on the inner edge of the ramps. It's so straight as well. Come on, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, the first place that's going in a minute there. Straight up on the ramp. Yeah. Well, you never know. So with the car loaded onto the truck while it's being strapped down, I do just want to say a great big thank you to Peaky Recovery, as Lawson has been moving my cars now for God knows how many years, and I wouldn't want anyone else to do it for me. So if you're in the area and you're needing something moved, I'll put his details in the description below.
That should have power in it.
That battery there?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll test it when we get back.
I've only put it in once and
it did start it.
That's when the lights came on for it.
How bad does it actually look?
Sills. Definitely.
It's quite hard to see from here on the camera. Usual typical E36 stuff.
Yep.
Front of the floor doesn't look too bad there.
No.
But only time will tell, I guess. Only time will tell. I suppose this is the bit now. Well, I say no one likes you like this bit. Pay for it. Yeah. So while I sorted out the paperwork with Ryan and got the car paid for, and I will tell you how much this car cost at the end of the video, Lawson had finished getting the car strapped down onto the truck and made his way with the car back to the workshop. And if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, now would be a great time to go and hit that subscribe button so that you'll be able to be kept up to date with everything that we're going to be doing with this E36 and other projects on the channel. So now that we're back at the workshop, let's get this car unloaded so we can get it in and onto the ramp. I don't know if it looks better or worse now it's here. I'd say it looks better. And before we could get it into the workshop, I did need to blow the tyre up as it was flat. So with that blown up, all three of us could finally get it pushed in.
That's full off.
I think we're round.
It was. You would have just sat in there. We could have done it. That's straight off the ramps. Right, yeah. Okay. See you later.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Much appreciated as always.
See you later.
See you in a bit. Do you want to be in the video? Yeah. Not sure why you're shouting at me, bro. What are you saying? What? You've probably noticed that I'm not on my own, and this is Craig for people that haven't seen him before. Say hello to everyone, Craig.
Hello.
Craig is sort of joining me on this project, and we're going to be doing this one together. Now, on the face of it, we have had a quick look around it before filming this part of the video, and it doesn't actually look too bad. And we are led to believe that with a battery, which he kindly gave us just before we were leaving, so we're to hold that up for you. There you go. Please. As we were leaving, he kindly gave us the battery, so we're going to drop it on now and see if we can get any power to this car before we send it up in the air and take a look at the underside of it. So hopefully he was true to his word and there is some power in it.
Maybe.
Did it make a noise then? Or was I hearing things?
Just try a little bit.
I'll hold the bonnet up. The gas struts are knackered, so.
Yep.
We've got ignition.
Not enough power.
Not enough power?
No.
Okay. So I wonder if we put it on charge for a little bit, will it have enough oomph in it to do something? Or
Get the booster out.
Or connect up a booster pack. That's probably a better idea. And what I'm also going to do is, while he gets a booster pack, I'm going to get a stick, because holding that is not going to be fun. Is it dead?
No.
What was you thinking?
I was thinking we're not currently sponsored by Nalco, but any
Not currently.
yeah. Every little helps and all that lot.
That's why I put that stick there. I thought at least it saves the arm. But hopefully this will then give us the answer that we need. This is where the charger's flat. I heard clicking noises. It's still making clicking noises. Is that going to do anything? Do we have ignition?
Nope. No. A little red flashy light.
He did mention something.
About the immobiliser.
Just have a quick look in there. I can't remember where it went. He said it was in the top of the cowling. I can't see anything in there. Did we put it in here? Aha! Something to do with this, maybe. Apparently that needs to be there or something. Still nothing. So the little thing that I was looking for was this little thing just here. Now I was told that this was to do with the immobiliser. Now we have found it and just chucked it on the dash, and as you can see, if I put the key in, we've got no dash lights, but the car now turns over. So we need to have a look at the electrical system and see why we have got no ignition live.
Ignition's on, by the way.
The ignition is on.
Yes.
So we've got 11.9 there, and that is live. Right, we need to work out which one's the ignition relay. You know which one's the ignition relay? We can see if we've got power going to that. And if that's switching or not. Obviously that'll depend on whether we've got, well that'll be why there's no ignition. Just not ignition on officer. You can't hear no click here whatsoever. Nothing. Right, so after going through the fuses, we worked out that we've got power at all the fuses and all the relays. We've got power going from the battery down the main live feed to the starter motor, and as you'd have seen just, we had no dash lights inside whatsoever. Now if I bring the camera down and round, you'll see I have been busy inside here off camera, and don't kill me in the comments for these bare wires just here. We are just trying to see if we can get this car to start, but I have ripped out the immobiliser, as well. Craig did have a quick look just, and the reviews on this were absolutely shocking, so that is going to go in the bin. And now hopefully, have we got the pack on there?
Yes.
Yeah, right, 2 seconds. Hopefully we should, when I put the ignition on, have dash lights, which we have got dash lights. So I didn't hear a fuel pump there. Let's have another listen. No, didn't hear a fuel pump, but let's see if it will. It's running.
Yay!
What? Never. You are joking.
Great success.
Oh man. Oh, buzzing. Like, I was not I genuinely wasn't expecting that. Like, the fact that we didn't hear a fuel pump. Wow, okay, so there we go, it actually runs. Wow, okay, like I say, I wasn't expecting that. That caught me off guard a little bit, but nonetheless, so now we've got it up and running, I guess we need to get it up in the air and check out what this car looks like underneath. So, the cheap car turned out to be a gem, not a lemon. What are the chances? Before we go up in the air, should we do a light check? Probably a good idea. See what does and doesn't work. Try side lights. We've got one bulb out straight away. So we've got a passenger front side light out. Headlights. Yep, they're both working. The fogs won't work because they're in the boot, so that doesn't really count. So if we go, say again.
The boys don't reach from there.
Bluetooth fog lights.
Yeah.
Let's try the back. Sides. Have we got sides on? Is that on? I'm not sure. Is that on? That one was on, and now that one is on. It's just very, very faint with the light. Brakes. We've got a brake light out. We've got passenger brake light out. We know the indicators work. We tried them earlier. Fog lights. Yep, they're on. It might be a bit hard to see on camera, but they are actually on. So now that we have got it running and we've done a couple more checks and had a little bit of a look around it, I think it is about time that we knock it off and get it up in the air. Are you scared?
No, I'm not. She's holding together so far.
Well, look inside that arch.
Yeah. And a brand new caliper on the driver's side.
But now that we've got it up in the air, we are able to take a look underneath for the first time, and initially I don't think it is too bad. I mean, what do you think? What's your opinions?
I think it's better than what either of us thought, to be fair.
It's definitely shocked me. I mean, we have got a little hole at the back here, so that's going to need to be addressed. But the rest of the sill, if I bring the camera down, we've got a little bit of flaky, scabby stuff there. We'll bring it down to the passenger side of the floor. We've got the passenger jacking point there. I mean, it is a little bit orange, but it's not all too bad. I've definitely seen a lot worse. Same on the floor section here. That's definitely, I mean, if I pull the under sealer off, it is a little bit flaky, but it's not a hole. So let's be careful and not try and make one. But it's definitely not as bad as I thought. I mean, it's definitely going to want a lower arm, like Craig pointed out just. It's going to want an arm there because of the boot. But I mean, more than likely, the running gear is going to want going over. Suspension, brakes, all that sort of stuff. Again, same this side. It all just looks a bit worse for wear, but obviously it has been sat for quite some time. We've got various leaks. This engine might not actually stay in it. It might come out. We'll see. We'll see how we feel when we get to that point. I mean, work our way further down. It's got the original exhaust on it, the driver's side sill and jacking point. If we take a look there, again, it's not overly too bad. Again, considering it's been sat on someone's garden for God knows how long. And then working our way down the sill again, it doesn't look too bad. We've got a little bit of a patch there. And then the driver's side rear of the sill, we've got a hole there, but I mean, it probably looks worse than it actually is. I mean, it is up on the ramp, it hasn't fell and crushed itself in, and we haven't got any holes around the back or anything like that. So it's overall, I mean, it's not too bad. From what I can gather, original rear shockers, one there and one there, and like Craig pointed out earlier on, all of the glass in the front of this car is all original as well. So it's not too bad. It's overall could be worse, could be a lot worse. But I think now we've had a look underneath, let's get it back on the floor and see if this wants to actually drive.
The fact that it drives as well.
Brakes aren't too bad either. So I'm now out in the E36, and first impressions, I mean, for the fact that this car's been sat for so long, I am shocked and amazed that it even started, let alone drives and stops. So straight away off the bat, I mean, it feels like it's got enough power for what it has. They're not the fastest of engines. The 1.8 16 valve, it only had 140 horsepower when it was new, so I wasn't expecting miracles. But I mean, considering, like I say, it's been sat on a garden for God knows how long, it doesn't actually drive too bad. Now we've got all the gears. There's no horrible noises or anything like that. And if I grab the camera and flip it round, you'll be able to see we've got no lights on the dash. We've got no overheating on the temp gauge. We have got some form of brakes. I mean, they're not the best, but we've got some form of brakes. And there we go. It drives quite nice actually, considering it's quite smooth. Come to a stop again for another speed bump. Now if we spin it round and we'll head back up to the workshop, as I did just want to see how this car was going to drive. There we go, one full circle. So now we'll head back up to the workshop, and what we'll then do is when we get back to the workshop, I will tell you exactly how much this car cost. Now some of you may be able to guess it. If you have guessed it, or if you do want to have a guess, drop a comment in the comment section below. But the next time you see me, I will be with this car back at the workshop. So now that we're back at the workshop, I've kept you waiting long enough, and you're probably all wondering exactly how much this E36 cost. I did ask you to guess in the comments, so if you did comment on the last video and you guessed it right, thumbs up. If not, the price of this E36 was
£300.
So for 300 quid, I mean, the fact that we have got it running and driving, and all we had to do to get it running and driving was cut out the immobiliser, isn't bad. Now, me and Craig wanted to know what you think we should do with this E36. Do we do an engine swap? Do we just sort of mint it up? Do we leave it as it is and just put a stupid end? What do we do? Again, let us know in the comments. So I am going to end the video there. So if you've enjoyed this video, as always, hit that subscribe button, give the video a like, and I will see you lot in the next one. Thanks for watching. Thanks for following. All together. Mint. It's running?
Yeah.
Never.